I should be live now, but I actually forgot to check something, so I'm going to do that real fast. Okay, we're good. So, yeah, I'm back. I had to go to the dentist this morning, and then I got extremely busy after that for some reason, so didn't get to stream until right now. But I did start streaming a little bit earlier than usual, at 3:40, so. But yeah, today is going to be Wario, so let me just go ahead and set this up. Oh, not Ness, but actually Captain Falcon, so. Yeah, today's character is Wario, so it's going to be like what, day 3 of Brawl? If I remember, like we had Meta Knight and then Pit, Dark Pit, and then Wario, so yeah, day 3. So Wario, kind of a slower character. Like he's not the fastest character, even with his little bike. Like bike obviously increases your speed, but not really by that much. It also does damage whenever you run with it. And it does a little bit more than dash attack on the sweet spot, or it might do the same. No, it does like 0.2% more than dash attack on sweet spot, and then sour spot dash attack does 6. Because dash attack, it'll become sour after it lingers for a while, so. But you can get something started with it, like maybe in there. Because with if you hit the sweet spot of dash attack, then you can't like get a grab afterwards because it knocks people a little bit too far. So, like here. And as you can see, they hit the ground before I can grab them. So he could have punished me there, but he's not gonna move, so I got that grab there. So yeah, I guess that kind of covers dash attacks, but now to go back to covering, like, mobility. So for jump height, you also don't jump that high. I don't remember what game this started in, but like the earliest game that I can think of is Super Mario 64 that had Wario as a playable character, and he was a very strong character that kind of jumped pretty short, so that's kind of what this reminds me of. He's got a lot of strong moves in Ultimate, but he doesn't really have the best recovery, or he's not like the fastest on the ground or anything. But I like his dash dance. Like his dash dance is kind of cool to look at. Or here, let me actually do dash dances properly. There we go. So, yeah, that's kind of something that I like. And then even his non-dash dance, like if you just do this, I kind of like it. Because like he turns around so fast, it looks like he kind of just like moves. Like you don't really see like a turnaround animation unless you do it slowly. But if you do it fast enough, then it just looks like he's just kind of there. But yeah, for jump height and recovery. So your recovery is kind of unique in that you have a lot of options. Like you can recover low with up B, you can recover high with up B, or, you know, you can recover with bike, and then, like, bounce into the stage, jump, and then use your up B, but I completely failed that there. And bike basically just allows you to get another jump, so you basically have 3 jumps. You have that, and then jump off bike, and then you can also up B to get the maximum height of your recovery. So, like, if you're all the way out here, like, I had saved my jump there, but the bike does have a timer, as you can see there, so that's something to know. It's like 3 seconds out. I don't know how long the timer is, but it's not that long of a timer, but like if you just jump bike and then you jump off stage and you try to bike again, like it's not gonna work. And the bike's also on the stage, so you need to make sure the bike is gone. So that way it will actually refill the gauge, but yeah, bike's not back yet, so Wario does this little animation there. And then whenever he glows like what he did there, that means that the bike is returned. So yeah, 4 moves, so we already kind of covered dash attack, so I'm going to go over jab. Just got a 2-hit jab. Can, you know, jab block, because it is 2-hit. Although jab blocking is kind of strange with Wario, because it pushes them out really far. So, you might want to do something like fair, because fair also has the same effect as a jab block, so maybe like fair into jab, although I can't really do that successfully. Let me just try this last time. Yeah, I turned around, but yeah, then you can land a forward smash out of a jab block or a down smash as well. Up smash, I don't think you could, because it's a little bit too high. So, it just is not going to work, and let me turn on that. So yeah, but your head is invisible during the up smash. So, for your tilts, you've got forward tilt, which is surprisingly strong. It's kind of like forward smash, except it does less damage, but it's a little bit faster. It also hits on ledge very easily, so, like, if this Falcon were to try and recover, so let me try and forward smash. Then I could actually, like, hit him off the ledge, but not the best at 2-framing. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit there. But, yeah, it's kind of got a weird spot. It's not, like, the best 2-frame in the game or anything, but it's still pretty solid at 2-framing, and it kills pretty early, because it's basically got the same knockback as forward smash. Or, not like the same. Obviously, forward smash is going to have a lot more knockback and kill a lot earlier, but, I mean, like, it kills at 100. Not there, but I meant to push him first. There we go. So, yeah, to kill at 100 if your opponent doesn't DI at all. Or, I think that Falcon DIs slightly, but still not, like, a perfect DI or anything like that. But it will kill at 120 for sure. It just has a lot of knockback for how fast it is. Like, it doesn't seem like it would have as much knockback as it does. But yeah, forward smash is obviously going to have a lot more knockback and all the rest for your smash attacks. But the other good thing about forward tilt is it's got some pretty decent range. Like, forward smash I think has the same amount of range, but it's not as fast as forward tilt. And then forward tilt also moves you forward. Whenever, like, as you can see, forward smash just leaves you in the same position, but if you forward tilt, you'll actually move slightly forward every time that you forward tilt. So yeah, I'm just gonna buffer out forward tilt using like, forward smash there. So, like, I guess if you wanted to kind of taunt or whatever, then you could just forward tilt your way towards somebody as sort of a taunt, because it is very slow, but it will eventually get you over to the other side of the stage. For down tilt is insanely fast, like, and it hits really low, so if your opponent has a somewhat bad shield, like, in terms of how much shield's left, or even if they don't, you can kind of just knock their shield into a position where you can just break it with forward tilt. So yeah, if this Falcon were to walk over here, and then me do that. Yeah, I used dash attack there, but Wario can break shields very easily using down tilt. And that time I didn't break the shield on the impact, but he was stuck in shield stun, I believe, after the forward tilt. But obviously they can just parry that at any time and then it stopped. But yeah, down tilt's actually really fast. It's slow enough not to be a true combo into itself, but if somebody's just like approaching you, like here, this Falcon's actually pretty low level, so he's not going to approach me fast, but you can just throw it out to kind of space. And then you can also create tech chases with it. You can hit people on the ground with it because it hits really low. But yeah, that's just a few of the options that you have. So, for up tilt, let's actually make it where Falcon stands still for this move. Up tilt, it's kind of fast enough to true combo to itself, as you can see there, but whenever you first start it, it's not. And then obviously if you use the A button, it will work a little bit better. But it has to be at a bit higher of a percent for it to true combo into itself, like at 30, instead of at 0. But by then, they already get knocked out of the move a lot. But I can't really show Waft at the moment, but it will kind of true combo into Waft. Like, let me try. Well, just to give you an idea of how that would work. Basically like that. But Waft's timer is like 2 minutes, I believe, so you have quite a while before Waft is going to show up. So I can't just, like, show you how it true combos into Waft, because there's actually, like, no way to enable Waft on its own outside of, just waiting for that to happen. But yeah, you can use it to set up Waft, you can use it to juggle, because Wario's up air actually is really good at juggling. But yeah, obviously, Wario's not going to be the best in the air or anything like that, but he still has decent aerials, like, it's not bad. Especially something like neutral air for lingering hit, and then back air is what I was trying to use there, but Falcon was already Falcon diving. So, yeah, for up tilt, it creates juggles. Down tilt's really good at just, you know, pressuring people. Like, it does a decent amount of percent, like it does 4, I think, 4 to 5, yeah. It starts at 5 and then it gets slower. So it's not gonna do insane amounts of percent or anything, but it's just so fast that you can kind of just, like, run around and just poke people, and then it has pretty decent range on it as well. Like, it'll probably hit if I back up. And Wario does have a crawl, I did forget to mention that. Yeah, it hits all the way out here, so you can just hit people really far away. And then, Um, forward tilt can be angled. I did also forget to mention that. So you can hit people upward, you can hit people downward, which is probably the best way because that's how you two-frame people, and it's like the same speed, and then you can also hit people outward, but I guess that one has a little bit more range. But it's only a slight difference, so it doesn't really matter that much. And then for smash attacks, you've got up smash, which is basically the same thing as Mario's up smash, except a lot slower, like, in terms of inline. Like, it's not Wario's best smash attack or anything, like, as it is with Mario. It's probably one of his best. Like, forward smash is a little bit better than up smash, but Mario has, like, one of the most iconic up smashes. Like, it's kind of just like a Mario thing to up smash out of shield. So, Wario can do the same thing, and your head is also invincible during that as well, so. That basically, like, why Wario's head becomes invincible is because, it doesn't clash with, like, sword characters or anything like that. It's just so it makes it where Wario gets to land the smash attack for going for the smash attack, rather than trading or whatever. It just allows them to do that. Same thing with the rest. That's why rest make you invincible. And then I missed that back air there. And almost messed up my recovery. But, yeah, up smash. Like, it has a little bit too much in lag to create juggles or anything like that. But I mean, like, at higher percents, you could maybe get something going. And for down smash, it hits on both sides, so that's kind of good. But it doesn't have that much range, and it's also kind of slow. Like, you're just kind of stuck there. Doesn't really have that much in lag, but it's just active forever. Like, this is me holding down shield. So, you're kind of just stuck in the move whenever you throw it out, so if you miss it, then obviously you're still stuck in there, so, like, Falcon can just, like, short hop down air me, and then get a combo going off of that or something like along those lines. But it's a decent smash attack. Like, it's not the end of the world if you accidentally misinput it. And it has decent kill power. Like, I forgot to say, up smash also has pretty decent kill power. It's not going to kill at 100, because, we're not playing on a triplat or anything, but I mean, it's still strong enough to get kills, like, and then it could also lead into juggles that get kills with up air. But down smash is gonna have an easier time killing than up smash because you kill off the side. And obviously this blast zone over here is a lot closer than the top blast zone up there. But if you do it like right here, it's not going to kill at 120, whereas if you, I mean not 120, but like 114. But like up smash killed there, and then down smash, it didn't confirm, so I'm not going to say that it killed, because that means that they can DI. Although sometimes I've tried to DI certain moves like that and it hasn't worked, but it's just better if it gets that little confirmation mark. Which you can still survive, even if it has that mark on the screen. But most of the time it means that you probably won't. And then for forward smash, it's very laggy, like it has a lot of startup, and it has a lot of in lag as well. Like even if you miss a move, you're still stuck in the animation forever. Like that was, or I literally inputted the forward smash and then held down shield, and that's how long it was active. And compare that to something like down smash, which is a little bit faster, and then up smash is probably your fastest. It's between up smash and down smash. Can't really tell which one's faster out of those two. But yeah, for forward smash, it's gonna be very slow, but it kills pretty early. Like it killed at 100 earlier. Let's try at 80, or it probably will kill at 80, but probably 90. Yeah, it'd probably kill at 80 then, if it killed at 90 like that. So yeah, that was like the bare minimum pretty much, because of how slow Falcon moved. But yeah, it's basically like a slower version of forward tilt that does more damage. Like forward tilt, as you can see here, and it also does more knockback. Forward tilt won't kill there, but it will like set up for an edge guard at least, and it's a little bit safer to throw out because it's a little bit faster. Try to get another footstool. But yeah, you can also use down tilt. I kind of forgot to mention this. You can just use down tilt to like poke people off stage and then follow it up with a forward tilt. If they have a like recovery that has a decent startup, like Pit, and is easy to two frame. So basically like Pit or Joker's up B with Arsene. Those are examples of ones that would actually just be a decent edge guard because it worked pretty well. But yeah, forward tilt, it's slower than, I mean it's faster than the startup of forward smash. But honestly, like when it comes to in lag, it's much faster. Like it's not that much faster in startup compared to forward smash, but in terms of in lag, it's massively slower. Like, I mean, it's massively faster forward tilt is compared to forward smash. But forward smash is just basically used to get kills outside of loft or forward tilt itself. So it's pretty much just pretty situational on which one you can use. Like, if you're trying to edgeguard people, then forward tilt is probably better. But if you're trying to ledge trap, then forward smash is probably better. Or, like, if you're on stage, you probably want to use forward tilt. But forward smash will get kills a lot earlier. It's basically why you'd want to use a forward smash over a forward tilt. But if you want to remain safe, then obviously use forward tilt. And then you can space it as well, because it has a decent amount of range. Like, barely missed that one there. Whereas forward smash has a little bit more range, it looks like, but not by much. Like, you can see that hit there, and then with forward smash, it's not really connecting from there. But yeah, they hit at about the same range, but I believe forward smash, or at least it like appears to be a little bit further, but not really by that much. And it's also slower, so it's gonna cover more distance, but a lot slower. And then in terms of aerials, you've got neutral air, which is actually really good. It just kind of lingers forever. Like, it doesn't have that much landing lag, but in the air, like, you're kind of just stuck in the move for a very long amount of time, so you can just use it to land on people pretty easily. If you knock somebody off stage with, like, a forward smash, then you can kind of just get the lingering hit into, like, a back air, but for some reason I buffered out an aggressive get up. Yeah, I keep doing that, but you could basically just use it to edgeguard pretty easily, as it just stays there for pretty much the entirety of somebody's recovery link. Like, if you try to recover and or if you try to like stall on stage, I mean off stage inside of like this area here, if you try to do that against Wario, then most of the time you'll probably SD before his nair is finished, like covering a distance where you can't recover. Or I mean where you can recover. And then for down air, it's kind of the same thing as neutral air, except it hits more and it hits a little bit harder. It also sends downwards if you hit somebody and you don't finish hitting them with the move. But if you do hit all of the hits of the move, then you will send them outwards. But if you don't do that, then you'll send them downwards. So it can kind of be used to spike, but not really. It's like a very inconsistent one. And it's not even that strong of a spike if you do land the spike part of the move. So, yeah. And then for up air, it's going to be a juggle aerial. Like you could do up air, up tilt, up air. Although, I didn't get that last up air correct. But, yeah, you can do landing up air into up tilt into another up air, basically as like a way to just start juggles if you can't really land an up tilt on its own. But up air is like a decent move to land on its own, or I mean to land with on its own, but you do have to be careful because if you're playing against a shorter opponent, it will most likely miss like Pichu or Pikachu or somebody that can crawl. But Wario's kind of short on his own, so he can kind of just hit a lot of opponents that are kind of short, but whenever it comes to like Pikachu and Pichu, then obviously they're too short, but characters like Ness or Lucas could probably be hit. I haven't really tested it on them. But Falcon is pretty tall, so it will definitely work on him. And then for back air, it's probably got the most knockback out of any of your aerials, and it also does the most damage. But it's pretty slow, like it has a bit of startup, you can see there, and it's not got that much range. Like a lot of your aerials don't really have incredible range, but they kind of last for a while. Or like up air, it has decent enough range to where, and it's also fast enough to where it kind of makes up for it, not doing, not lasting forever. But back air, it doesn't really last for long, and it's also got a pretty small hitbox. You also have to hit somebody like slightly above you, or like directly behind you with the move, for it to actually land. So, it's pretty difficult to actually like hit the move consistently. Like, I'm not doing that well here, but that's just because I'm not used to playing with the move, because I rarely use back air because of that, but it can kind of lead to edge guards, and then it also edge guards really well off stage if you can land it. But forward air is a little bit easier to land. It's much smaller, but it's much faster. And it also offers less knockback, but it also lingers, so as you can see with like forward air, you can kind of just like hit people very easy, or very easily with the move. It doesn't really do that much damage or knockback though. Like on the ground, it does a little bit more knockback. It looks like if you like land with it, but as you can see, like it just really doesn't do that much knockback. It's much better to just throw out like a nair. But if you throw out forward air, like it lasts for a while, but it's not gonna make it where you can't recover or anything like that. So back air, it's just a little bit too slow. It, or at least in my opinion, but it's still really solid because it has a lot more knockback than most of your aerials, and it's your most powerful. So it's much better for edge guarding, but if you have to choose, or like if you have to do a forward air, I guess, because you didn't like reverse air or rush to turn around, and then you just have to do forward air, then it's not the end of the world. And then for specials, you've got up special, which, I mean, it travels a decent amount of distance. Like, it's not a bad up B, it's just not a great one either. It's kind of like the same thing as a Falcon Dive, but it travels a little bit less distance than like Ganondorf's. Like, you can still recover from pretty far underneath the stage, but as you can see, like right there, it was not enough to be able to save you. And it does a decent amount of damage on the ground. Like, it does, what, 16%? Yeah, about 16%, so it's going to do decent damage. It can also kill off the top, but that's pretty rare, as your opponent has to be at a decent percent for that to happen, like maybe 100. Oh. Yeah, as you can see, it didn't even kill. Like, I was trying to go for an up air, but here, let me try up air after. Oh yeah, the up air killed, so it's just not that useful for killing, or useful on stage that much. Like, you can up B out of shield, that's kind of useful because it has a pretty decent hitbox. Like, it kind of just surrounds Wario, and you go upward in that tornado motion, so you get a lot of hits. But outside of like up B out of shield, I wouldn't really see that much use for it on the ground. But in the air, obviously, you just mainly use it for recovering. Like, you can try to hit people with the move, but it doesn't really have that much knockback, and it sends outward. It doesn't really send upward that much. So it's not going to kill people off the top or anything. That's where you would want to use up air if you were trying to kill people off the top. But it's a little bit easier to hit than up air because it lasts longer. Then for side special, I guess we'll cover that one. So you've got the bike. There are certain taunts that you can do on the bike that you can't do as Wario. So, like, if you do up taunt, then it'll work on the bike. And then side taunt and down taunt are pretty much the exact same on the bike as up taunt, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're the exact same. So with every taunt, it'll do the same thing. So he does have another taunt that characters, like, he has an extra one, I guess, that a lot of characters don't have, so, or I guess no characters have as many taunts as Wario's, but he just has one more than the rest. But yeah, in terms of damage on the bike, it does more damage the faster that you go, and then it can also hit multiple times if you turn around like I did there. Like, it has a hitbox. It's a pretty weird hitbox. It's like on the tire, so if you just like spot dodge a tire, then you can kind of just go through the move. Like, that Falcon kind of went through the move there, but he was also on the ground. And then I'll go over Waft at the end, I think. But yeah, for a bike, like, it just kind of stays there. Like, you can use it to edgeguard people. Whenever you get off the bike, you can throw it as a weapon. Like, you can hit it a few times as well. So, like, if you wanted to do some kind of a combo, you could do, like, up throw bike into, like, a down throw. I didn't really get a good throw on the bike, though. Something like that would be a very solid way to, like, combo into bike. And that was soft throw. And I've seen that work a few times, but I just can't really get that to work because it's very precise on the time. And that was small throw. So let me just try it once more. So yeah, it's like you have to be incredibly fast on down throwing your opponent for that to work. So that's why it didn't work. But yeah, it will explode eventually. And it does decent damage on the ground, but obviously you gotta wait for it after you destroy it. So now with that, we've got the bike here. Like, it does a decent amount of damage as a projectile. And then, if it's not already about to explode whenever you hit it, I mean, whenever you throw it, then it won't explode for a while. But you can hit it until it starts smoking and then throw it, and it will explode after hitting your opponent. And then let me just turn down Falcon's percent, so that way I can try and build up Waft in the background. So, yeah, for neutral special, or I guess I'll go back over Bike, because there's actually something I wanted to mention. So, yeah, offstage, I kind of covered this earlier, but Bike does allow you to have, like, another jump, and then you can also eat it with your neutral special to gain some HP after being hit, but it doesn't really give that much HP, like your neutral special, which I'll cover now. Like, it does decent damage, and it gives you slightly decent XP, I mean not XP, but HP as well. I don't know why I said XP, but yeah, it gives you slightly decent HP, and it also is a decent kill move at like 120% or something like that. It kills very late, but you'll heal out of it, so like if somebody's at the ledge at like 120, I think it's when it starts killing at the ledge. It might not even kill here. Yeah, so it kills pretty late, but it still is a decent light kill option. It is a command grab, so it will hit people through shields as well. So like if Falcon were to be on control, so let me turn him on control and then turn down his percent. So yeah, if Falcon were on control and you neutral beat him, then and he was like shielding on control is what I'm trying to show, then you can actually just grab him through the shield, although he pushed me away with his shield. But yeah, there we go. And there's also a glitch in the game. I can't show it in training mode, but if you pause the game and you zoom on Wario's head, like you zoom in on it while he's eating someone, and like you look through his back, then their head will be shrunk. It's just kind of like an Easter egg, almost. But yeah, now we can cover Waft. It's probably Wario's most famous move. It does a massive amount of damage. It's got a pretty large hitbox. It can be used to boost his recovery as well. Like, I've seen some people die off the top doing Waft all the way up there, and then their opponent living. So, that's kind of an unfortunate thing that can happen with Waft. But, yeah, it's pretty much just like his signature move. It kills insanely early. Like, I'm just going to show it killing. So, like, it'll probably kill at 35, 37. Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like a Falcon Punch, pretty much. Except it is a fart. So it can be countered though, so if your opponent counters it, then it'll most likely kill Wario. Whenever it's building up, it has like a few stages, so at this stage it will create a trip, but Wario's kind of scratching his head, so you can maybe get a grab if your opponent just doesn't react at all. But outside of that, like, it's got a little bit too much in lag on whenever like Wario scratches his head, so you're just kind of open for attack. It's pretty much just like a taunt at this rate. And then there's a second stage that's a little bit later, so I'm gonna try and wait for a bit of time. But yeah, in that second stage, you do a slight amount of damage. Like, it's not really that strong of a move. It would probably kill at like 120, or not 120, but like 140. Like, it kills pretty late, but yeah, it was that move there. And it has a pretty small hitbox as well. Like, whenever you have Waft Supercharge, it could probably hit from here. But that's not going to be the sweet spot. The sweet spot's got to be right next to your opponent, so you kind of want to be right next to them. Like, on the ground, like, on the same horizontal level, almost, like me and Falcon are. Here is where you want to waft. But you can also hit them by launching yourself upward with the waft. Like, it launches you upward after you do it, so you can hit people in the air. But, yeah, you can use it to edge guard. It's got a variety of uses. Like, off stage, it can kill at 0 for some characters, just because of how much knockback it has. So, like, if you're playing against a lighter character like Pichu or Pikachu, then you could just, like, jump off stage, waft, edgeguard, and then, you know, it would launch you upward, so you would be able to recover on, like, that waft there. And then whenever you have waft fully charged, it will make Wario kind of, like, turn brownish, red, almost. Like, it starts making him flash that color, and you can't lose waft until you use the move, or you lose all of your stocks, obviously. But like, if you lose a stock while you have Waft fully charged, then you will carry it over to the next stock. So you can actually use, like, the invincibility from Halo just to run up to somebody and waft them. But it can be shielded and it won't break shields. It can be countered, it can just be dodged as well. So you want to try and set up for it. Like, a lot of people use up tilt into waft. Like, I'm not sure if it's a true combo or anything, but I'm assuming it is. Like, that wasn't a really good example there. but something similar to that, except you have Waft fully charged. It doesn't have that much startup, so I could see it being true, but you'd have to be pretty fast on your inputs because you're jumping and then doing a special attack rather than jumping and doing an aerial. And aerials are going to be much faster because they have very little startup, except for back air, obviously. But yeah, and then, the trip, as I said before, it's just not that useful. But, I mean, like, I got a grab there, but that's because my opponent's not going to do anything except be hit by the grab because they're in control. But, even if I have, like, them on CPU level 3, well, so, let me just try to waft them. Yeah, like, they just reacted really late, but if you're playing against an opponent online, then, unless they have an insane amount of ping, then they won't be able to react to it, so. Like, and by an insane amount, I mean like 1,000 ping to where you're basically watching a slideshow. That is kind of the ping that they need to not be able to react to the move. But yeah, it's good for edge guarding. The weak hit's not that good because it makes it's kind of like Dr. Mario's cape, so you'll do the move, but just nothing will happen, and then whenever you just do it on its own, it's also going to have the same effect, so you're just going to fall. So, yeah, for landing, like, I would recommend using down air to land or neutral air over pretty much any of your other options. Or, I guess fair is also kind of decent for landing because it has a pretty low hitbox. But back air hits a little too high to land with, and then up air can start a combo if you land with it, but you have to make sure that you hit the right spot or else you won't be able to start the combo. But yeah, and then make sure not to SD as well. But yeah, for throws, you've got down throw, which is probably the throw that I use the most. It's a very awkward throw. Like, you can get a dash attack out of it, but it just launches behind you, so it's not that great for starting combos, but I just kind of use it out of habit because most of the characters in this game have some sort of a combo out of down throw, but Wario kind of just doesn't because his launches opponents so far backwards that you can pretty much just land dash attack or just create a tech chase with it. And then maybe get something going off of the tech chase. Yeah, for up throw, you can start juggles with it. Basically, it's all that it does is just like your standard up throw, it launches upwards, it kills at pretty high percents on triplats, so. Like, a lot of characters have kind of up throws that kind of kill a lot lower, and then some have kill throws with their up throw, but Wario, it's not really a kill throw, but it will kill at higher percents on triplat stages, and even on, Omega form stages, like this stage here, but it's going to kill pretty late. Like, not at 999, but at like 100, or probably not even 150, but probably around 200, it'll start to kill on this stage. As you can see, it didn't even kill there. But down throw actually could kill. Maybe, no, it has, or it's knockback. It's weird now. I guess it just retains the same amount of knockback, so I thought it had a different knockback. Yeah, forward throw, it's going to be a decent kill throw. And then up throw on triplats, if you're standing on one of the higher platforms, it's going to be a decent kill throw. But forward throw, I mean, it's an okay move. Like, it creates edge guards pretty easily, and then it can create tech chases, but, like, let me see at 0%. It doesn't really do that well at higher percents, but at lower percents it doesn't even force your opponent to tech until the second throw, and then they're too far away from you. So yeah, I would say down throw is much better for creating tech chases. And then if you, like, poke somebody, then you'll force them to get up, so you can kind of just, if you down tilt somebody while they're in the mistech animation, then they'll have to do a neutral get up, and then you can get a grab. Unless they, like, mash some kind of attack, and then they can maybe get out of it. But that seems to just kind of make it where you get some sort of a chain grab going. Although, it's not a true chain grab or anything, because you can get out of it very easily by, like, air dodging and stuff like that. Or just hitting the tech. But, yeah, for back throw, it's also going to be a kill throw, and it creates tech chases a little bit better than forward throw, but it still launches too far outwards, so I would say down throw is going to be your best throw for tech chases, and up throw is going to be your best one for combos, and by combos I mean juggles, so not really true combos or anything, but I mean juggles work pretty well for Wario because his up air has like, it doesn't have that much horizontal range, but it has a lot of vertical range. So you can kind of just bait air dodges and then punish a lot more effectively than most characters can. Vertically, but horizontally, it's kind of lacking, so... Like, it has that initial horizontal thing that makes it where you collapse, but outside of that, it just doesn't have enough range horizontally to be that solid of a juggle move. But, I mean, it launches upward, so that's kind of your best bet is with it, because it's the only one of, Wario's, up air, not up airs, but aerials that will launch upwards. So I'm gonna say aerial, like Wario, but his name is actually Wario, not Aerial, so, yeah. For neutral special, though, you can use it to kind of, like, you can kind of juggle into neutral special. So let me try to set up a juggle here. Because, like, neutral special, it hits opponents whenever you land, so you can land with it, but it's not that great of a move to land with, so, because it leaves you open to attack. And so, yeah, I guess I will reset this and then talk about, neutral, disadvantage, and advantage. Okay, so, let's see, Falcon. Yeah, I guess we can just leave it on Falcon. And then just set him to level 9 instead of level 3. So, yeah, basically playing against Wario is kind of playing a 2-stock game. At least if you're playing on 3 stocks. If you're playing 2-stock for some reason, then it's a 1-stock game against Wario, so... but, yeah. In neutral, what you want to do is just try and get check chases, I guess, with down tilt is the best way to describe it. Or, you know, get juggles as well, that's a pretty solid option. You don't want to roll around like what I'm doing, but... Make sure to mix up your recovery options a lot, because Wario's recovery is very vulnerable to being hit, so if you don't mix up what you're doing, then you won't recover like I didn't there, but that's just because I thought I had Bike and I didn't. So, if I would have had Bike there, I would have recovered. But yeah, Falcon's up smash makes it really hard to land against him, and then Falcon dive as well, but Falcons will rarely go for Falcon dive to punish landing, but that's a very effective option. It's just a lot slower, so people will be able to react to it compared to up smash, but yeah. Wario's disadvantage is kind of bad, like it's okay, I guess, but he just has so little range that he can't get out of, like, an edge. If somebody's trying to edgeguard Wario, then he has to mix up his recovery a lot, or, like, try to use Waft to punish him, but he really just can't get out of, disadvantage once he's in. But when he's in advantage, he's got a really strong advantage state, as long as you can read your opponent, because you have to be able to read them to make sure that you knock them off stage with the little range that you have. Yeah, as you can see there, like, I tried to down tilt Falcon, but he still outranged me, so. But yeah, he went for a grab, so. You can play bait punish Wario, like, you can pretty much play that with every character, but with Wario, it's not as rewarding. I would say he's a much more, like, rushdown character. You want to try and stay to your opponent's face and then edgeguard them whenever you knock them off stage. Yeah, you can do that by landing with neutral air. You can try and go for reads like I did there. Although that was a pretty risky read because I used forward smash. Yeah, landing with neutral air is a very solid option. And then also just, like, doing a rising neutral air out of shield. Because it's just so fast and it's kind of just there. But as you can see, like, he parried it, but it has 2 hits, so you can also just hit people for trying to shield you. It does a massive amount of shield pressure. But that time he actually forward smash out of parry, which is what you should do. Or like do an up smash out of parry. Just do something to do an attack rather than like try and charge up a move. Like forward smash, he did that where he just instantly did the forward smash, so he didn't charge it up at all, which is what you want to do. But I would just say do a fast move, like do an up tilt or a forward tilt, just something to get Wario off of you, because if you do it a little bit too slow, then he gets to hit you with neutral air. And then he can start to follow that up very easily. But yeah, forward air is also kind of good for landing if you're landing at a diagonal against somebody rather than directly on top of them. Like, if you're landing directly on top of someone, then down air and neutral air are going to be really good. And then if you're also landing at a diagonal, then neutral air is still really good. But forward air can kind of just knock people in front of you a little bit stronger than neutral air can. Like, neutral air has decent knockback on its own, but forward air, it just has a little bit more range in front of Wario, so that's kind of the advantage of using it over neutral air whenever landing in front of somebody. And then same thing with like using down air instead of neutral air whenever landing on top of someone. It obviously has the advantage of having more range downward, because it's designed to go downward rather than Wario just kind of like belly flopping onto somebody. But yeah, now that I have Waft, my opponent is probably going to play pretty defensively, so I can try and punish that. Although, this is CPU, so he's not going to play defensive. Or he might, but, I mean, he's playing pretty aggressive for playing against Wario with Waft. But yeah, as soon as you get an option to punish somebody with Waft, I would recommend to do it there rather than do a setup. But obviously your opponent is probably going to be playing extremely defensively and like trying to mix up their defensive options. But if they keep doing the same one, then obviously punish it. Yeah, like that time I air dodged back to stage and Falcon just got a pretty decent edge guard. Wario's edge guard, like if you edge guard Wario, then he will die most of the time. Unless the Wario's actually extremely good at returning backstage, which there are a lot of Warios that are. But if you're just playing against like an average Wario, then if you just edge guard the Wario, then he will not make it backstage. Because Wario has to mix up his recovery so much, like with bike and everything. And then if you hit him out of bike, then obviously he can't get bike whenever he tries to get back. So he's got to up B, and then you can just down air Wario out of up B. But yeah, I actually missed the waft, which is not something you want to do, obviously, if you're losing. You want to try and hit the waft so that way you can win. But I should have saved it for this stock anyways, because it's basically, I am on third stock and Falcon's on third stock now. But I am at a pretty big disadvantage, so. I would say Wario has the worst disadvantage state in the game. I'd just say he's in, like, the top 5. Because his disadvantage state is just awful to play in. Like, Olimar, he's in the top 5, he's pretty bad. Little Mac obviously is a little bad. I mean, not little bad, but bad. But yeah, I actually lost that game there, so gonna do a reset. But yeah, and then after this I'll go over the rest of the taunts. But yeah, it kind of fell out of up smash there. But yeah, Falcon, the advantage of Captain Falcon in Wario, because I think this is an even match, but this Falcon's probably gonna beat me. But the advantage of being Captain Falcon against Wario is the fact that you're much faster, and you've got much more range, because Falcon is just taller. And a lot of his moves use his legs, so Wario's just gonna get outranged by Falcon using his feet, like there. Like, I tried to forward tilt, but Falcon's up smash was actually much faster than it, and I didn't expect it. Yeah, and then I tried to air dodge, because I always try to land an air dodge on Falcon's up smash, because if I don't, then he's just gonna up smash me, and it will beat out my move. So there's pretty much like nothing you can do if you're landing on Falcon whenever he up smashes, except hope that your air dodge works. But obviously he can bait out air dodges, so that's an option. And then down smash. Okay, so I'm gonna bike here to try and recover high. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm kind of dead, no matter what I do. Unless I recover low and he doesn't edge guard, which he didn't edge guard there, so that's why I didn't die. But if he actually would have gone for the edge guard, which is what I would have recommended you to do against Wario there, then he would have killed me. Because the Wario's up B just makes you very open for down air, for any character. Like, it doesn't even matter if your down air doesn't spike. Like, Mario's down air is really good at going against Wario's up B, for example, and it doesn't spike in this game at least. It spikes in 64, but I haven't heard of it spiking in any other game. But Dr. Mario's does. Yeah, I got neutral aired there, so. But this is really close, so I can pretty much just take Falcon stock as long as I don't play too stupidly. Yeah, I'm gonna try and bike on stage, but it probably won't work. Bike on stage is okay, it's just, I feel like you shouldn't really use it on stage too much, because if you get into an offstage scenario, then you need bike, like, instantly. Or else, your recovery is much weaker, as I've kind of said a few times. I should have down tilted there instead of forward tilted, but I got greedy. But I didn't get punished for forward tilting like I should have. Yeah, dash attack is actually surprisingly strong for Wario. Like, it's one of his better moves, I would say. It's probably one of the best dash attacks in the game. It kills at later percents, obviously like 130, like 140, but it's incredibly fast. So, like, you can just throw out dash attack, and it just has a very fast startup. So, as long as you're directly in front of your opponent whenever you do the move, and they aren't shielding, then you can just dash attack them. But if they do shield, then obviously it's not safe, so... Just like every other dash attack in the game, it will result in you losing a stock most of the time, or just getting into an edge guard position if you throw out dash attack. But I'm actually ahead of stock here, so this game's going much better than the last one. I got side beat at like 50 against Falcon, so that's what threw me off in that last game. If that wouldn't have happened, I probably could have won. And I also missed Waft, but I'm saving Waft for now until I'm on my final stock. That way I can try and make Falcon play defensively. But he's not going to play defensively because there's actually no stocks in training mode. Yeah, he has super armor in that. I keep recovering high, but I should recover low a bit more. It's just recovering low is risky as Wario, because spikes. Like, it's pretty much risky for every character, but Wario's up B is like the only thing that can protect him from spikes. And even that doesn't work. And like up air, I guess could protect you from spikes as well. But that's not that solid either. But yeah, he rolled into that, so I figured I would punish. But yeah, you can use Waft just to secure the kill if your opponent's at like 150. But if they're on their second stock and you're on their final stock, and they're at 150, then I would recommend just to take their stock without using Waft and try and save it. So that way, if you are very low in percent, at like 150, and they're at their third stock, then you can use Waft to try and make them play pretty defensively. But they should play aggressive against Waft. Because Wario, I forgot to do taunts, so I'll do taunts while I'm talking in the background. So, yeah, Wario's main problem is the fact that he doesn't really have any defensive options. Like, you've got Nair out of shield, and then like, up smash out of shield is incredibly bad for Wario, like, just because it has very little range. Like, its head pretty much travels nowhere in the entire animation. Like, it's not even getting close. Like, it's getting close to Falcon, obviously, but it's still not enough to hit him. So, it's a pretty bad option. Like, you've got Nair out of shield, which is probably your best option. It's got the same amount of range as up smash, but it at least is safe on shield and stuff like that. Or at least safer than up smash is. And then you can also like down tilt out of shield, but that one you have a bit more in lag. Or I mean, you have a lot of lag to try and get the down tilt out. Like, you have the drop shield lag, and then you also have the startup lag of the down tilt. So, whereas with up smash you can do that without having to drop your shield. And then same thing with up B. Like, up B out of shield is another good option, as I said earlier, but it's not going to secure any kills. Like, it could maybe get you into a position to edge guard, but outside of that, like, if you're in disadvantage by like 150% and you up B somebody out of shield, then they'll most likely just be able to get back to stage fairly easily, because he probably won't be going for edge guards that much. Like, Wario's decent at edge guarding, but I would say he's got a weaker edge guard game than like 90% of top tier. Like, his edge guarding game, it's basically consisting of forward air, nair, or back air. And then, after he throws out like one move, then he's got to get back to stage, because if he doesn't, then he can get footstooled or down aired. Pretty much anything that spikes kills Warriors or sends them downwards. But yeah, this is going to be it for the stream. I forgot to do taunts again. That was the main reason I was there, to do taunts, but I actually just played in the background, so now I'm going to do taunts because I'm actually thinking about it. So, yeah, alright, I didn't forget, but I just did them at the beginning. I didn't say anything. So, yeah, this is up taunt. Then you've got slide taunt, and then down taunt. And then you've also got the taunt on the bike, which is that one there. That one's a little bit harder to show, because Wario moves pretty fast on the bike. And then you've also got this as a taunt, I guess, is whenever the bike's missing. So I'm going to try to go slow on the bike, so that way I can do the taunt. But there you go. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, I guess that's it for Wario. Like, I would still say he's a top tier, but he's in the top 10. He's not really in my top 5. Just because I see him as a character that can be better than what he currently is, but he's just a little bit too slow for, like, he's a powerful character, don't get me wrong. He's kind of like a heavy that's slow but powerful, except he just lacks the range for that. Like, Ganondorf, for example, I think would beat Wario, unless the Wario just, like, edgeguard again, and then obviously he's got the same problem with edgeguarding. But the thing about Ganondorf is he has a significantly more range than Wario does. Like, even on his non-smash attacks, like back air, for example, with Ganondorf, outranges all of Wario's aerials. Like, it just covers more distance, so. And that's one of, or like up air for Ganondorf is probably like the most range that he has, and it outranges every single move Wario has except for fully charged Waft. And then obviously Bike, but that's because the Bike has got both the tires and it's pretty large. But Bike's a little bit situational in terms of like its coverage. So yeah, I would still say Wario's top tier. I don't think Ganondorf's top tier, in case you're wondering. But I will like do a tier list whenever I do Joker Day. It'll probably be the day after that. And then I've also got to do the compilation that I want to do of just highlights of something from a game that I played with each character and got like something that looked kind of decent. I'll probably do a highlight of that and then like make a compilation. Like I already made one compilation, and then I have to do the rest for all the rest of the characters after this update today, because the update will delete all of the older replays. But yeah, that's going to be it for this stream. Tomorrow's character is going to be Snake, and then we have Ike, Pokemon Trainer, and Diddy Kong for this row. And then we've only got 2 more full rows, and then this row down here, and then there's also going to be a character that's added to this row pretty soon that's going to make it the same length as this row. Or I think it's going to be relatively soon. Like, they're going to announce them at E3 for sure, but I don't know when they're going to release, obviously. Like, I don't work at Nintendo, so I have no idea when that's going to happen. But I would say before fall, if not, like, mid-fall. So, late summer to mid-fall is going to be my guess range for whenever this character releases. But they could release them at E3. Like, if they actually just, like, said that the character was releasing today, then obviously I'm going to stop watching E3 and then move over here. But, yeah. That's pretty much it for Wario, so I guess I'll see everyone in the next stream. I won't be able to stream for a while. Like, I might be able to stream later tonight, but that's kind of up in the air, because I've got a lot of stuff to do still. Like, I just had enough time for this stream. So, yeah, I guess I'll see everyone in the next one.